East Hawaii spiritual leaders gathered at the Hilo YMCA on Thursday to discuss their approach to ongoing special legislative session at the state capitol, where lawmakers are on the verge of passing Senate Bill 1, the same-sex marriage law. They also had a message to share with media. A statement was made to the press after conferring with other local church leaders.
Well, basically today is we're coming together as different churches in our community and on the Big Island. And what we're saying is there are certain things that have been taking place during this special session that are not according to the voices of the people, where we saw 87% of the people rise up and say, we want to revisit what we said in 1998, because the intent was not to give the legislature the power to decide between, to reserve the definition or reserve marriage between opposite sex couples. It was actually, the intent was to reserve marriage specifically between opposite sex couples, not to give the legislature the power. And that was the intent. So what we're trying to do today is just come together and see where we move from this point on in where we are with this special session. And although we may not have the same agreement with those who want this bill to push through, there's a lot more that people don't know of. And so we're learning as we go with the bill, and I think the public is too. But even still, there's a lot more that the public does not know yet, that hopefully they can catch up with. Yeah.
Did you have a specific statement?
Yeah, I think for all of us as churches, our agreement is that if given the proper democratic process, then Hawaii would not be divided over a disappointing, unequal Senate Bill 1. And after weeks of considering the very serious issues that have been raised by countless academics and legal scholars, including people on both sides of the marriage issue, not to mention the thousands of people throughout the islands who have come to testify from their heart, which was 87% opposing SB1 and 13% in favor, compared to what could have been, the proposed bill is inadequate for many people. And it is crystal clear that the only way to protect religious liberty on this issue is not to redefine marriage in the first instance. Let there be no doubt, there should be no legislator who thinks this bill protects people of faith, because it plainly does not. And we should know we are in those shoes. Anyone who votes for this legislation will be opening every church, every religious group, charity, and school, along with small businesses and people of faith across Hawaii, to mistreatment simply for holding true to their belief in marriage as the union of one man and one woman. A yes vote on SB1 is a vote to silence the majority of the people of Hawaii. Because it was done in a special session and in such a short time, it divided us as a people. You know, we have people who attend our church who are gay, and even in our own church, this law hasn't even become, or the bill has not even become a law yet, and it's already dividing people. They still attend the church because they understand the heart behind us loving people, that the bill that we're fighting against is not a fight against the people, it's a fight against the wording in the bill and what the bill will represent in the future. We have no problems with two people of the same sex getting together or even being married. They can go to another state and get married and come to our church. If that law becomes a law, we will still welcome people. So it's a fight against the bill, not a fight against the person. So they kind of turned it into a personal thing, and that's what divided the people. So if it was done in a different way, where we could have open hearings, where we could talk things through, and I think it would have been a much better direction for the people of Hawaii, then the people wouldn't be divided, and we could all work together for one common cause, which is equality. But done this way, it just ripped a division between people, which is not the way we do things in Hawaii because of our culture.
It sounds like maybe one way or the other, if this thing were to pass, one way or the other, you probably would have to adjust how you do things at New Hope. Is that safe to say, or is it too early to say that?
I think we've already been adjusting even throughout the years because of other states doing this and just being prepared. The one thing we have constantly remained true to was loving people. That has never changed. We just constantly love people. And sure, you have some fanatics that will go away on the other side and give a bad taste, and then people will group us all together. But just like we don't group other people together, we just look at it as individual cases. When they say hurtful things against the church, we just say, no, that's the individual person. It doesn't represent the whole. Because we know wonderful people, and I have friends who are gay. They're wonderful people, and they don't treat us like that, so we don't group them together in that way. I'm just thankful that as Hawaii sees what's happening in the special session, that we can continue to not be divided, but continue to come together rather than let something like this divide us. And even though the governor has called the special session, it's not the people that caused this division. We want to be unified as a culture and not break us apart. So I think we're here today to say we're going to continue to move forward, but not be divisive in how we can represent not just the church better, but the state of Hawaii better. Yeah.
A list of conflicts between religious liberty and same-sex marriage was provided to Big Island Video News by local church leaders. They state that under Senate Bill 1, individuals of conscience who run a small business, such as wedding photographers or florists, can be sued under public accommodations laws for refusing to offer their services in connection with a same-sex marriage ceremony. Religious daycare centers, counseling centers, meeting halls, and adoption agencies could also be sued under the same laws for the same refusal. The list goes on, detailing different scenarios in which a person or institution could face a lawsuit for refusing to recognize or provide benefits for same-sex couples, or they can lose out on certain grant money or even have their licenses revoked. The full list can be found on our website.